guys, this is my March 2020 Shop My Stash. I was going to do this yesterday, but forgot it was a leap year. So, which is probably a good thing that I didn't do anything yesterday. I wasn't feeling that great. So I have already pulled palettes and products and stuff because I didn't want to, seeing as though nobody has been to my actual physical live streams and past several streams, I figured I better pick all this stuff out on my own because there's nobody in chat to help me pick things out. So in my last month's Shop My Stash, I've mentioned that I was going to be pulling like palette products for this month because they kind of get put in my drawer with my like eyeshadow palettes and I forget about them. So this month, I did pull blush, highlight, contour, face products. I actually have a palette for each. So, hey Sylvia, haven't seen you in a while. So I went ahead and pulled palette products for a lot of the face stuff, and I pulled the last of my single eyeshadows from like my collection as well as the other brands that I've gotten like from Ipsy that I've depotted, because I want to go through and use at least all of them once this month so that I get a better understanding on whether or not I'm going to keep them, or like with my eyeshadows that are like 8 to 10 years old. Yeah, I've missed you too. I catch you on Facebook every so randomly here, there, and everywhere, but like I've had a lot going on and I know you've had a lot going on, so it's just good to see you in chat. Haven't seen you on my channel in a while. I see you on Facebook all the time, but that's different. So I have found that about 70% of my eyeshadows that are like 5+ years old or older that are singles, which is all I had before. I never bought palettes before like 2018. I only had like single shadows that I used. Some of them, like I said, about 70% of them are still okay to use, and then the rest of them I am putting in the trash. So that is why I went ahead and pulled literally all of the stupid freaking pop-ups on my iPad. YouTube wants to give me 1 free month on my, account. So I pulled those. I pulled a couple palettes. My friend Jason said that he bought me a palette from BH Cosmetics, which is a companion palette to one I already owned, which is kind of perfect because St. Patrick's Day is coming, and I am like 16% Irish. I'm like 9% Scottish. So I plan on doing more looks that are artistic for St. Patrick's Day. I also want to include like doing a look with my family crest, or at least one of my family crests. And so I wanted to use colorful palettes that had specific colors in them that I knew I would need. I do have a couple of things that I picked up. Like this came from Amazon. These are like detailing brushes that are art brushes. It says 12-piece miniature detailed paint brush set acrylic watercolor oil. So I'm going to be putting a comma in makeup because I'm going to be using this with makeup. So I do have those that I haven't used. I also pulled the little like gems that I have that are from the little My Little Ponies, and I pulled these as well. These are just little adhesive, artsy gemstones that pick up at any art department. So they're not like makeup specific. So I pulled those specifically because I knew I would be doing another. Like last year, I did an Irish flag, and I did like a rainbow with a pot of gold kind of thing. And I went in the yard and actually picked clover and stuck them all over my face. So I plan on doing more things like that. So we'll start off with the palettes, and then we'll get into like the tray of everything else. Move a couple things. Now I know there's been some controversy on one of these palettes lately, whether or not it's the old formula or the new formula. To be honest, I think I got mine in like March or April of 2018, so I would have actually let me go get the box because I know where the box is. Okay, found the box. I have a big box in my room that has all my like packaging in it for products. So this was all the way at the very bottom with a whole bunch of other things stuck next to it, and it's squashed so I couldn't quite see it. So the first palette that I pulled was the Jaclyn Hill palette, and this actually, like I said, I bought mine in like 2018. I got it from Ulta. So the first ingredient is talc, then mica, then kaolin, then dimethicone. So this is the original formula. This isn't the new formula that doesn't have talc or kaolin clay in it. And this one, as far as I know, is also the one that does not have carmine in it. I don't care about carmine. I still eat Yoplait yogurt. It has carmine in it. I've eaten much worse things in my life than bugs. But looking at the ingredients in here, just looking at the box, I do not see carmine on here. My hair's being bad. And then there's a little Ulta thing on it. So you can see that I did buy this from Ulta, because it's got the little electronic thing on it. And this says JH2 on here. The code on the back is AA10C down here at the bottom. So here is what mine looks like. I pulled this one specifically for like these warmer tones in this row because I know I'm going to need an orange eyeshadow, and I know that this creamsicle shade is what I was intending for some of the looks, and I know my family crest has like a lot of these colors in it, so that's why I pulled this palette. I don't reach for this a whole lot, so I wanted to pull palettes that I don't care for as well, or I don't use as often. So that's why the Jaclyn Hill palette got pulled. I also pulled the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. It's a little dirty. I've used the shit out of this palette. So here is the color story here. Again, I'm going to be focusing on like these two rows and these two rows for like Irish themed makeup, and it's even got blue in here, which would go for the Scottish flag because the Scottish flag is blue and white. So and I do believe he bought me the Rio edition. I also want the third one that they came out with recently, which is Ibiza. Go away out. Hi, puppy. He just came running and jumped on the toilet lid. So this is the original Take Me Back to Brazil. This has mattes and shimmers in it. And if he did buy me the Rio edition, that one has mainly shimmers and a few mattes. But it's a very similar color story to this. And I want to get like all of them. But they were on sale for like 50% off. And he was like, well, I'll buy you something. I was like, he's like, okay, what do you want? I was like, well, you could do a gift card to this, or you could buy me something from Amazon. Or I was like, oh, there's like 3 palettes I really want from like BH, but there's a 4th that's like a maybe palette. And then he went to the BH website and he was gonna buy something, then I was like, no, wait till things go on sale. That's why I haven't bought the Libra in the Scorpio palette yet, because they haven't gone on sale yet. So until they do, I'm not gonna buy them. Just like the Ibiza palette, I will wait till they're on sale. So they were doing a 50% off sale for the Take Me Back to Brazil like palette set. You could buy this one and the other one for $20. These retail for $20, or you could get one or the other for $10 each. So he bought one of them. He's like, please tell me you didn't buy the white packaging one, because the white packaging one I have, the black packaging one I don't. So he went and looked, and he's like, I bought you the black one. I was like, awesome. So I know I have that coming in. I also have the Crystal Zodiac palette pulled. I used this when I first got it, that month that I first got it, but I haven't really used it since. Plus I wanted to do some like pastel looks, because we're coming up on spring and there's going to be Maven and Ostara and things like that. So this is what this one looks like, and it is beautiful. But it has a really good yellow in here that I wanted to try and use. It's got some greens in here and a blue that I wanted to also use for like UK inspired makeup, so, or Celtic inspired makeup. But it also has this beautiful like purple here. I have only used about a handful of the shades in here, maybe half out of this, what is it, 25 color like the other ones? Yeah, 25. So I've only used about half of them. They are not releasing this one to the BH website. They only have it at Ulta, and they're never going. I did send them a message and asked them if this was going to be on their website, and they said no. I have no idea what that message even says, and it's hidden, so whatever, go on with your troll self. So Sylvia, this one here, BH said, I know. Oh, I was going to message you when I get money again and the Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette is back in stock. Do you still want to do what we talked about doing for Christmas? Because I have like 2 liners that I want to get, and that palette, and maybe one of their foundation sticks. So if you want, we can do like a combined order, like we talked about, and then I could just mail you the palette. So let me know if you still want to do that, and like it's gonna be another month or 2 before I can afford to do it, but that's on my like shopping list. My most immediate shopping list is that palette, and I know we talked about like me placing the order and then just shipping you the palette separate once I get the stuff in. So if you still want to do that, let me know, because yeah, we'll talk about like logistics and stuff. But yeah, I think it really sucks that the import fees and all that kind of stuff on that is so ridiculous, but I still want to get it. I haven't forgotten about it, I promise. Alright, so the next palette that I pulled is actually the BH Cosmetics. This is the Pisces palette. Again, it's a green palette. I know, which is why I was saying that I want to get, there's like at least 2 liners that I want to get, 2 eyeliners that I want to get that I don't have. I have like this one here, which is yellow. They have another one that's like a neon yellow that I want to get. I have a navy blue one from them. I have a white one, but there's a couple of other colors that I would like to get, and these are like amazing liners. So this is the Pisces palette. It is a green palette. I've used the shit out of this palette. I love this palette. This is, I think, my favorite one out of all of this one, and Sagittarius, I think, are my favorite out of all the little mini ones. I'm still missing Leo, Libra, and Scorpio. I haven't bought Libra or Scorpio yet. They are on their website, but I can't afford to buy them right now. I don't have the money. And I wait for them to go on sale. Most of these I got them for either like $8.20 or $7.80. Sometimes there was like 2 palettes that I got for like $4.40. So I do not pay $14 a palette for these. I am very frugal, and so yeah, I wait for these to go on sale. The last actual like palette that I pulled, and since I pulled all my other ones last month, I kind of figured I would need to use it for this month. Plus it's got shades in it that I need for the Scottish flag. It's Blue Blood by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is my least favorite palette out of the other ones that I own. I have Jawbreaker, I have Blood Sugar, and I have Conspiracy. I also have the Mini Controversy palette, but this is what it looks like. I wanted a lot of these like blue shades, and the white I wanted to do for like a Scottish flag because, like I said, it's blue and white. It's like a take on the British flag, and the British flag actually is a culmination of several flags. They take the Scottish flag was taken and they superimposed it over the pre-existing like British the flag for England, and so that's where you get the like blue striping that goes over the flag is from the Scottish flag. So I wanted to try and do some blue and white looks with this and try and do like some icy looks. That's why I pulled this one. I probably might, I know I'm going to cuss at this palette, so it's going to be a fun video when I get to using that one, because I always end up cussing at that palette. There's a couple of palettes I cussed at, two of which, one of them I sold on Depop. The other one was listed on Depop and somebody marked it as like fake or something, and Depop just removed it off my store today. So I'm going to have to post the packaging pictures with it and where I purchased it from Morphe, and to prove that it's real, because people are assholes. Okay, now getting into magnetic stuff and the other face palettes. I'll do the face palettes first. I pulled the ABH. This is my only like highlighting palette. This is the Aurora palette. I picked this up at TJ Maxx for $12. It has a blue and an orange and like a yellowish orange shade for highlights in here, as well as the white, the purple, and the green. So I figured this would go very well for doing holiday looks for this month, so that's why I pulled that. The Makeup Revolution Pro HD Powder Contour or whatever kit thingy. Break a finger trying to get it open. It also has a highlight in here, and the highlight in here is like amazing. I actually can use this shade here to set my under eyes, but I have to like mix it with this shade. This shade's actually darker than this shade, and I do have a swatch video of this palette exclusively. And I usually like mix these two with this shade up here to do like contouring with, because they're like, this one's a little bit warmer, this one's more cool tone, but they're both too dark for my pale ass. So I pulled this to do contour with, and then I pulled the BH blush palette. I actually used this shade here as bronzer because it's like the right shade, but it has a wide variety of blush tones in it, and so I pulled this. Put some of this stuff back. Now getting into magnetics. Now some of these I set up by color story, like this one is a yellow and gold palette. Let's see if I can zoom you guys in. There you go. The light's kind of blowing it out a little bit. So this is my yellow and gold palette. There are there's a Morphe shade in here and two from NYX. So I pulled that because I wanted to do like a sunshiny look. And then some of these are like my shadows, like this one here is Dragonfly. And I think the other ones, except for these last two, these two are Morphe shadows I bought, and then these two were products that I got in Ipsy. So we've got like a greenish, green, blue, teal kind of little palette here. This one here is the rest of my like singles shadows, and then there's a couple in here. Like this one here is a Hikari cream shadow, and then we have the Colored Rain Superstar shadow in here. And this one here I think is a Cargo eyeshadow. Could be from the balm, but you know, without moving it. But the rest of these shadows in here from here over are all my personal single shadows that I've had for like ages. So I need to see how well they work and if I need to like declutter any of them. In here we have more shadows, single shadows that I either bought or got from subscription services. This is like a random mix. And then this row here, all except for the very top shade, like these two shades here are from my line, this one's from my line, and this glitter shadow is from my line. But again, I want to use all of my single shadows at least once this month to see if they're worth keeping or if I should just declutter them, because some of these, like I said, they are 5 to 12 years old. Then we have face products. I did pull a blue highlighter for this month. I've got Physicians Formulas bronzer and blush in here. I have an Ofra highlighter, my one and only Kat Von D purchase, which is the shade Lyric from her like contour or whatever, the shade and light palette, I think is what it's called. It's too dark for me, so I pulled my oil control pressed powder that's from my line that is white. It does lighten the shade a little bit. I just kind of mix the two. And then I've got a Physicians Formula eyeshadow in here I pulled to mix with it as well to lighten it. And then we've got a couple of other blushes and random things I kind of stuck in there that I haven't used in a while, so that's why I pulled those. Let me get palettes put back up. Almost knocked my brushes over. My dad made chicken and I'm starving and I want to go eat. Okay. Now I zoom you guys back out. In the tray, I've got things that are from like my project pan. And then I pulled just a regular basic like white to like pink shifting highlighter. I pulled one blush and I pulled my Nomad Cosmetics bronzer. So technically I have like 2 bronzers and then a contour kit for this month. I pulled the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion for corrector under my eyes. I did pull that. That's in yellow. I just want to use it up. I pulled a couple of primers and some like CC, BB, whatever type creams. I want to just try and use them up. Would you just stop with all the damn pop-ups? That's annoying. Okay. I still have the Cover FX primer in here from last month because I didn't use it, so I want to test that out. I have the No Problem Touch and Soul priming essence. I want to try and use that and see if I want to keep it or not. Go away. We have the Ipkin Radiance Primer and the Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer. I pulled both of those because most of them are pretty much empty. Then we have the It Cosmetics CC Plus Cream in Light. It's too dark. I plan on mixing it with some things. The Smashbox BB Cream in Light. It's also too dark. And then the Makeup Forever Ultra HD in shade 08. This is the Ultra HD Perfector Blurring Skin Tint with Sunscreen. I use this as like cream contour. I also have the little sample I bought as an add-on last month from Ipsy, the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie and LN2. I actually can use this as foundation or concealer, or both. I like that as both. And I threw back in the ABH N100 or 100N foundation, just in case I wanted a foundation. I almost pulled a stick foundation this month. I was like, no, I need to use that ABH one. I've had it in that little tub for a while. I pulled the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in Fair Warm. I hear him. I hear him. I don't know what Daddy's doing. The Maybelline Age Rewind in Ivory. It's like most of the way empty. It's all the way down to like right here. So I want to try and use this up. I pulled a ton of liners this month, so the majority of my tray is liners. Mascaras, I pulled the Benefit Roller Lash. I'm trying to use that up. And the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. I'll probably end up using those like together in conjunction with one another. I also have my Cella Clear Brow Gel, my Benefit Brow Gel in shade 5. This is in my project pan. Mural lip stuff. I pulled the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I hate using it. It doesn't really do anything for my shadow, but I pulled it. And then the Glossier Balm.com is in my project pan. I want to get more use out of this. I probably ought to just stick it on the counter so I don't forget it. And then I pulled a bunch of liners. Oh, your brow product. I have the CoverGirl brow product. This is their brow pencil in Rich Brown. I pulled 2 liners from the kit that Jason bought me for the holidays. This is Handy, or Handaiya, Handaiya. Is that an N or an H? I don't know. So I pulled the orange shade. Does it even say orange on here? No, it says 07. I pulled 07 and 10. So I pulled the orange and the green one from them. I pulled my NYX white liquid liner as well as the NYX Jumbo eye pencil in the shade Milk. I pulled my liquid liner in Radioactive. It's old. I need to just use it up or toss it. And I think this is the one with the brush. Yeah, the brush is like all dorked up on this one. It's going every different direction. I need to cut it. I hate it when brushes do that. And I'm careful about how I put them back in the tube, and they always end up going. When you try and do a line with it, you got like bloops of color everywhere else, and you're like, damn it. I pulled my gel eyeliner in Envy Me. It's like an emerald green shade, and the one from Sugar Cosmetics in Stroke of Genius Kohl Pencil in Green Light. They're very, very similar shades, but I pulled both of those. Again, I'm going to be doing, you know, makeup for a holiday, so I pulled the L'Oreal in Nude Beige, the ColourPop in Punch. It's a little bit more orangey than yellow. And then the Ciate London Fierce Flicks, I want to try and use this up. It's in my project pan. Yeah, did you see the eyeliner inventory video that I did where I swatched all these suckers out? It took me, there was one liner that stuck around on my arm for like 4 days. I don't know which one it was. It was like over here, but like I had like 2 or 3 like strips of color on my arm in this area, and I could not get that stuff to wash off. I even took a pumice stone to my arm and it wouldn't go away. So it's on my channel. It's in my my inventory playlist. I made a new playlist for like my inventories and stuff like that. So, oh yeah. Yeah, I did send you some of my eyeliners, didn't I? Yeah. I forgot about that. For lips, I have a couple of glosses, a couple of liquid lips, and things like that. So I guess we'll do glosses first. I pulled this one from LA Colors. It's like a Your Lips but shinier kind of lip gloss. It has an orange hint to it. I pulled the Dirty Little Secrets in Nude Beach. I think I pulled this one not long ago, but it's also in my project pan, so I pulled that to try and use more of it. And the Make Beauty in Victoria Plum. I want to get more use out of those. And then for liquid lipsticks, I have 2. I have the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Cairo. This is like concealer lips on me. I thought maybe I could use it as like an eyeshadow base. That's why I pulled it. And then the Jeffree Star in Crocodile Tears. I pulled this so I could do artistic stuff with it. And then I have one of my liquid lipsticks, but this is more like a liquid lipstick that doesn't dry down, but it's got a gloss to it. This is in Emerald City. It's a really pretty green. I plan on using it for artistic stuff. And then I pulled 3 bullet lipsticks. I have Vice from Makeup Revolution. This is the only orange lipstick that I own. I have, are you Ripe Berry? Yeah, Ripe Berry from NYX. This is their butter lipstick. And then I pulled Enamel Red from the L'Oreal Color Riche line because I wanted a red lip. So, and then I just left the lashes in here from last time, and that's basically it besides my lash glue. That's everything that is on my tray for this month to use. So that's everything that I pulled to use for the month of March. What I've been doing is like taking little video clips of the palettes that I have pulled for the month, and then I'm posting them on Instagram. I'm not like one to do like very heavy digging into my eyeshadow palettes. A little goes a long way for my personal preference. I would rather dip back into a pan 100 times to build up a color and do little by little than to like dig my brush in and get a ton of pigment and go to put it on and then you can't blend it. So that's my approach at makeup. It was the same when I was in the salon. I can always cut more off your hair. It's your job to grow it. It's my job to cut it. That's what I used to tell my clients. So I don't mind trimming your hair or cutting hair to where I think is an acceptable length, and then letting you look at it and be like, is this okay? Do you want more off? I have no problem taking more off. Again, your job to grow it, my job to cut it. So I would always use that start off where you're comfortable, and then you can always do more later, because of the fact that if you put too much on at first, or say you cut too much off at first, you can't glue that shit back on. Other than like wiping the makeup off, you can't get that stuff off unless you redo the entire thing. And when you're almost done with a look and you pack on something that's way too pigmented, or you get a little bit too much and you're like, oh, I would rather go in a little at a time and use a product gingerly and be careful with it than, like swirl my brush in a pan like I see some people do, and that always makes me cringe. But that's coming from somebody who has been a licensed hairdresser for way too long, and who knows that I can take off more. I can always cut more off your hair. I can't grow it. That wasn't my responsibility. My responsibility was to do the hairstyle that you wanted, to cut it in the proper way, in the right increments, so that it laid a particular way. I tried not to ever take off too much hair, even if somebody came in and they had really damaged hair and I wanted to just chop off like 10 inches of it, because their hair literally looked like wet spaghetti and felt like wet spaghetti because they've been bleaching their hair at home or whatever. It wasn't my job to have that prerogative. It was my job to give them the style, or as close to the style that they wanted, with what their hair would do. And if they brought something in, like a picture or a magazine, and they were like, I want this, and the girl's got hair like me, and you've got 10 hairs on your head, I'm like, you're never gonna get that. Even if we perm it and tease the shit out of it, you're never gonna get hair like this. So it was always one of those things that I tried to teach my clients, that when doing anything, it's always good to start off small and work in moderation than to start off with a heavy hand, and having to go back and fix things is always more time consuming. It's more money out of your pocket. You're wasting product. So that's how I approach makeup as well. I approach makeup with, I can always dip back in and apply more to get things to work for me. So you'll never see my palettes absolutely destroyed. What really bothers me about this Jaclyn Hill palette is how dirty the front of it looks. And I am like super anal about keeping my stuff clean, and this stuff does not wipe off. I've even sprayed alcohol on the outside of this trying to get this off, and it won't wash off. Like, it drives me bonkers. The inside of the palette also looks dirty, like here, and if you try and like clean it, it doesn't wash off, it doesn't scrape off, it doesn't clean at all. And I'm like very gentle with my products. Like, I mean, I've had this palette almost 2 years and it still looks pretty new, and I've used it a lot. So it's just one of those things. I'm very careful with my products. I like to keep things clean. I like to keep things like sanitary and organized, and I guess it's because I come from a salon environment that I do that. And people are like, oh, you store your makeup in the bathroom. Well, no, my makeup gets stored in my roll cart, which closes, and the rest of it is in this cabinet here, which also closes. And I keep a Himalayan salt lamp running 24/7, 365. So it's just one of those things that, it depends on where you store your makeup, how you store it, how clean your environment is. I mean, yes, I have a cat that's in here right now. He's on the, let's see if I can flip you around so you can see him. He came in and that's where he ended up. Bubby. Hi, baby. What if mommy had to go pee? Huh? He did that to me one day. He came in, I came in, it was late at night. I came in to go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, get ready for bed. He came in and jumped on the toilet lid and would not get off. So, rotten fur baby. Rotten fur baby. Oh, I just lagged out for a second. So anyways, that is everything for my March 2020 Shop My Stash. I will be using these products. I still have like 8 videos that are uploaded on private right now on my YouTube channel. And I've got like 12 to still edit from things I recorded before my cat died. So, yeah, I've got a lot of stuff that's already ready to go to come out. And, so this month I'm going to be mainly focusing on like holiday looks and specific theme colored look palettes looks this month. I will probably do a 2 different looks, same shades with all of these palettes, and I've got 5 on the counter right now. So that's 5 videos that you can expect in that theme, where I do one eye with one look and one eye with the other look, where I use the exact same shades. Yeah, that's fine. You sent me a message the other day and I responded back, but you never got back to me, so fired. Fired, Sylvia, you're fired. But, so there's at least 5 videos right there, and then I need to get busy recording. I've had a lot of people request like specific color swatch videos, like swatching on my yellow eyeshadows, swatching on my red eyeshadows. Now you're busy. You have a husband and a child and a job where you take care of other children, so you're fine. I understand. I'm the one that doesn't have a life. I'm the one that sits at my computer 14 plus hours a day. So, I mean, I didn't fall asleep till after 4 o'clock this morning. And then Dad woke me up at like 8:30 and I was awake till like 10. So I went back to sleep and didn't wake up again until 2 this afternoon, so. And I'm still testing out that Goop, like, facial acid peel. Right now we're on almost 48 hours. Tonight will be 48 hours. This is the product here. I went ahead and wrote my review. I've used 2 of the 4. I have 2 left. I don't like all this like extra packaging in here though. It drives me a little nuts. I mean, the box I'll probably stick in the rat cage and they can lay in it, but I'll wait to do that until after I don't have any more of those to use. I don't like how wasteful the packaging is. But Fred's still hanging out. And Fred came up right after George did. So George is gone. George left a scar. But Fred is still hanging out. And it feels like there's something down under the skin because it's hard. So I'm just waiting for my body to push it up. So that's that. I'm going to go get some chicken because it smells amazing. And I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything since I got up. And yeah, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. I will be doing like regular daily uploads after this because hopefully I can stop just randomly bursting out into tears. So far, we're going on day 4 since he died, and I haven't cried yet since I've been up. I did cry before I go to bed. I went to bed, so I can't say that I haven't cried today because that's not accurate. I have cried since midnight. So just one of those things. I know it's going to take time, and I don't like to wait. I do not have the patience to wait for a lot of things. So it is what it is. But it'll get better day by day. And I have my other rotten fur child, which has a heart condition. So don't know how long he's going to live. I also have heart problems, so I understand what he goes through. I've had those. I've never been in renal failure before, though. That would suck. But anyways, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic day or night, wherever you are, and I will see you in another video very soon.